Let's go ahead and open it up for some questions. So it's going to be Blanca first, then Partha, and then I'll come to you, Marcus. So we'll start with Blanca.
So I guess my question is just, this is something that we buy the package and then your team does the thing, and then uh, do we get reports back, or is that something we can log in? Like, do we get some kind of account that we can log in and look, or is it fully hands off and then just every how often do we know about the proceeds?
Yeah, great question. So of course, we're not going to just like have you fund something and then not have any visibility to it. You need to know what's going on with your capital. So you get access to you actually start a brokerage account. And so that's your login information, your credentials, it's your KYC or know your customer. So you're going to upload your driver's license or passport, you're going to upload your utility bill, just like as if you're opening any other brokerage or any other bank account. So you're going to have access to that account and it's going to show you literally everything, how much you've deposited, what your balance is, any withdrawals, and then the profits and profit splits. You'll see all of those in the dashboard.
When you say broker, like I have a e-trader account. Is that what you're talking about? Like that
Yeah, so that's
account?
the same.
And
That's the
then
same.
you guys like manage?
Yeah, you got it. Correct. You got it.
So, Aaron, I don't have very specific questions. I do understand how it works based on couple of testimonials and your interview and your team interview, couple of YouTube I was able to watch. The basic I understand. Um, the only one question, it could be a one-on-one, I'm trying to ask that on behalf of everyone, some of the folks that we really don't have time, so we are
Mhm.
looking for kind of this thing for a long time.
Sure.
And thank you for doing that, because some of the folks that we don't know how to invest, we don't know how to see the market. There are a lot of scams and in what I mean, right? So
Yes.
thank you for that. The only one question I have, if possible, that um, for the fee that 25K or 35K, whatever that platinum or diamond,
Mhm.
we are definitely would like to go for a platinum or diamond because the trust that you had, the success you have, that definitely we will get back our money in short 6 months or 1 year, down the line, based on the market or based on your past history. Is it something possible to give some kind of installment on the fee until we see our account is growing? It's kind of a mindset, don't think in other way around, that we wanted to have a kind of a small trust, and oh, my account is growing, I pay the fee, but at least 1 or 2 months, yeah, so that I have more trust, more bonding, and I can invest even more. And absolutely, we can pay the fee. Absolutely not a problem, because if it is true, and what you are saying, it's happening. It happened for a lot of people that I've been watching for the testimonials. So that's the only one question I have. If something you can do, we can have one-on-one on that. Or maybe you can, if you have any ideas, and throw it on. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. So we typically don't do payment plans because the majority of people that ask for the payment plans can't necessarily afford it.
Oh,
And they can disguise it with, I just want to make sure that it works, but they really actually can't afford it. So typically we don't. We do like to take things case by case, but as a overall rule, we don't do payment plans.
okay. Yeah, that's only one question. It's not from my question. I'm I have a couple of friends that are looking for the opportunity, so I wanted to bring them on board.
Yeah.
That's a question came from them, not exactly, to
Yeah,
the
no, that
goal.
makes
Thank
sense.
you.
Yeah, great. Thank you. You're asking for a friend. I get it. I understand. No, the thing on that end, Partha, is you can, when you do sign up, you do have access to a 10% credit to give to you to use however you'd like. You can, take that 10% credit on any upgrades. So if you start at platinum and you want to upgrade to diamond, you can use it there. You can use it for the purchasing of a ticket to one of our events. Or you can pass that onto a friend or a family member and give them access to that 10% credit as well. So yeah,
Okay.
love it. Love it.
Thank you.
Cool.
I actually have two questions. First of all, do you offer IUL services?
Well, we don't as an ATN, but we do have insurance specialists that do.
Okay, okay. And then based on Blanca's question, did you indicate that if we already have, say, a Charles Schwab account, that we could utilize that account?
It won't be the Charles Schwab account. It will be a different brokerage because it has to be able to support the type of trading that we do. But I was just mentioning that it is in the same vein as a brokerage account that she's experienced. So,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And then finally, how soon after you would start with when we make an investment, we buy the package, make the investment, how soon would you or could you indicate that we would begin to see some sort of substantial profit that we could begin to take?
Yeah, yeah. So literally, I mean, if you've seen any of our testimonials, I do ask that question to them, and it ranges from a little, under a day to a maximum of about a week, depending on which strategies that you choose, and when they do take trades. So it's pretty quick thereafter.
Okay.
Definitely within a week. Yeah. Excellent. Great questions.
My wife and I just have one, maybe two questions. The initial fee to come on board, we understand that tax advisor, and I can appreciate that. And the information that Makai has given us have answered those questions. I'm trying to remember that other question my wife had, but it just it escapes me. Let me check with her, and maybe later on in the broadcast, I
Yeah.
can
We'll
ask
just come
that
back to you,
question.
or you can just do what Amy did and raise your hand when you're ready
Okay.
with the question.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Love it. Love it.
So, piggybacking off the first, I may have two questions, maybe even three, but they're quick. Piggyback off the first question, when the gentleman said, "Can you pay like a portion of the initial fee, and then see some gains, and then pay some of the fees?" So, my question is similar but different. Is it possible to do a hybrid where you add the funds for trading and then take the gains from the trading to pay the fee?
No.
Okay. All right.
So I'll say the first answer first, and then I'll kind of give you a little bit of context. We have
Sure.
to pay our trading team. They don't just get paid on the profit split. And if you could imagine, if you go on the diamond level, they only take a 5% profit split, so that's not amazing for them. So there is cost to pay for the actual license, the algorithm, the strategy, and then of course you have multiple, right? So with platinum, you have 5, with diamond, you have 8. There's multiple strategies that have to be paid for. So those hard upfront costs
Okay.
definitely add up.
So the second question is, again, I mean, I guess piggybacking off the other guy's question, I didn't know that was in question. I thought the startup fees were deductible, but I don't know. And I looked away. I don't know if you shook your head and answered his question, or did you
I wanted
provide?
to have him have the chance to have both of his questions.
Okay.
But he kind of did answer it at the end. He was like, you have to structure it a certain way in order for it to be deductible. And that's kind of why I was like, all right, I'll let you
So let me add to that part then. So I can't think of my representative's name off the top of my head. I can cheat and look if you need it. but I did ask him, could I convert the brokerage account to LLC? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. And then my last question for you is um, understanding it's a brokerage account, and then the trader has access to that. And in my mind, the trader has access to your funds to trade. Does anyone else have access to the brokerage account?
Excellent question. The answer is no. So it's kind of the difference between custody and discretion. So custody means they actually have access to your money so they can like take it, right? Or discretion is just they can trade with that capital. This is the discretionary access. And so they don't have the ability to withdraw or deposit. They only have the ability to connect it to the actual trading algorithms.
Okay, awesome.
And no one else has access other than the trading teams that you authorize.
Okay. And I guess the major difference between your organization and other organizations, some organizations sound like they have the bots doing the work, but there's no human oversight. Is that a major difference or not?
Yeah, that's really the biggest difference. The other companies will give you the keys to a Lamborghini and say don't crash, right? We will tell you to get in the back of the Rolls Royce and enjoy the ride.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
100%. All right, Marcus, you're back.
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, my wife had to give me clarity because sometimes my brain doesn't work the way it's supposed to. But is there a way to roll over an existing tax deferred 401k to, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'll just answer that, Marcus. Yes, as long as it's self-directed. If it's self-directed, then yes, you can do that.
Okay, if it's coming from a self-directed or going to a self-directed.
If it's coming from a self-directed, you can roll it over. If it's any traditional or Roth, then you would have to take the withdrawal and then move it over.
Okay. Okay. So my wife said it is a traditional 401k, and but I don't think it's traditional because we have moved money around in that account.
401k is an IRA. It is a traditional IRA.
My wife said it's a traditional IRA. Okay.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to be on camera.
It's okay, no worries. I understand. Yeah, so yeah, the traditional it would be more so about you would take the withdrawal yourself.
Okay. No problem. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
100%. Okay, so we have Deshaun, and then we've got Osag, and then we'll go to Holly. So Deshaun, if you have a question, you can unmute. Give you a couple seconds to unmute. There we go.
Hey everyone, how you doing today?
Very good.
Good. I think my only question that I was wondering, and I kind of got on late, please forgive me if you've already done this, but I was wondering if there's any way you could kind of just give us a quick overview of the three investment vehicles in terms of how you did with ROIs for the year of 2024. Is something like that possible?
Yeah. All right. So we'll take a look here. If you can still see my screen, great. So this is called MyFX Book. MyFX Book is a third-party validator that basically gives you an idea of what is happening, with the overall strategy itself. And so you can always track this along with your brokerage account. So just giving you a couple of different places to be able to look. And so we'll kind of look at what 2024 looked like for this algorithm specifically. Now, of course, you're going to have months at 2%, you're going to have 3 or 4%, but then you're going to have 13 or closer to 14%. That levels out, to a really decent average. And then year to date, to this point, we're already, about 10% for the year. And if anyone kind of knows about the cycles of trading, especially in the foreign exchange market, then quarter one is a little bit slower. Quarter two really picks up. And then, you know, there's the quarter 3 has a small lull, and then quarter 4, especially the beginning, it really picks up again. So we'll go ahead and take a look at our crypto option here. You know, with this, you can kind of see overall what the gain looks like, you know, with the balance and everything. I didn't show the balance on the other one, but that was about 6 million, I believe. And then we'll take a look. I'll show you this as well. So you can see some of the positions, you know, 95%, which is not very typical. You know, 95% win rate on the longs, 58% on the shorts. So kind of an average of about a 70% win rate or so for this. And then we'll take a look at some of the history. Now, with this one, this is a higher risk option. With higher risk does come higher rewards. So you can see in February it had a negative, in January it had a negative, but we'll go back to 2023. You know, September had a negative, but October 23%, right? December of 23, almost 9%. And then you'll go into 24 last year, you'll see 11%. You'll see a month of February of 50%, 25%, 24, and kind of so forth. So with that one, even though the risk is higher, the reward is of course higher as well. And then I'll show you one other one. I'll show you the gold. Now, the gold, not everyone does get access to. Again, this is really reserved for our diamond level. You see over $1 million that's in there. And then you can kind of see average position. Now, just so you guys are aware, if you have above a 50% as far as in the win percentage, then that means that you're profitable. Or typically means you're profitable. And so at 66% on average, then that's doing pretty well. So we'll kind of take a look. We'll go into 24 first. So in 24, you can see this one, you know, started in October, so got about 14% there, did really well in the election month, and ended the year pretty strong at 12%. And then you can see our monthly for this year at 11%, you know, last month at a strong 23%, and then month to date so far at just under 2.5%. So it's kind of the performance of some of the algorithms that we do offer.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate it.
100%. All right. So OSAG, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, but maybe not.
Osage is how it's pronounced.
Osage. I knew
You
the
got it.
G. I knew the G had to be soft. All right. So Osage, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate the taking the question here. So honestly, I've been doing some searching, obviously, as far as everyone else here is concerning passive income here, and I've come across your channel here, and you guys are talking about a lot of great things here, and I see a lot of the good testimonials, and all those things kind of resonate with me here. However, I'm a guy who is hoping to use this avenue for kind of the long haul, kind of help me to prepare for retirement and take advantage of the next 5-6 years.
Okay.
Where do you see ATN in that time frame? And not just that, what's my guarantee or assurance that next year ATN falls through and you know, my money's in a brokerage account that I got very little oversight over, and I'm stuck holding the bag as far as that side of things here. So
Yeah.
that's one side of that question there. The second part here is I know you're telling me that you guys are tying us into this network. Besides you're my only into this network here. Do I have any other ways once I'm a part of this network to communicate with said traders or anything of that nature?
Yeah, great question. So I'll start with the first question. You know, what's going on in the next, you know, 5+ years for ATN? What's the long-term vision? You know, honestly, we want to deliver even better results than we're getting now. And so we have our own internal you know, algorithm development team that we have just commissioned to start developing new algorithms that we can be testing and making sure that we continue to be at the forefront of innovation in the space. Because it is a newer space in the last like 10 or so years. And so we want to continue to have more control over the production of winning algorithms. So we're going to be introducing some of those here in the next year or so, but also we are going to be adding business acquisition. So business acquisition for, some of you may know this because you may be of age and you have a business and you may be in your late 50s, your 60s, and you don't want to work the business anymore, but you also don't want to just sell it to some random person and maybe they sell it for parts or whatever. So we're going to be acquiring businesses. These businesses can be anywhere from accounting businesses to different wealth advisory firms and things like that, to where you're able to get access to a business that may be underperforming. We use our expertise in marketing, in sales, advertising, operations to increase the actual valuation of that company, and then go for an exit. So it'll be acquisitions, and then you'll get the passive income in the meantime until the business is actually sold, and then you take part in the actual exit. So that's kind of a piece of it as well. When it comes to education, we want to make sure that all of our clients are financially literate. I'm sure the people on this call are, but some of your family members that you want to pass on your generational wealth to may not be. So we want to make sure we don't have people falling through the cracks that are going to be receiving large sums of money, even more money than before after you join our network. And so we want to make sure everybody is aware of how to handle wealth and steward it in the right way. Now, what was your other question again?
I guess the next part of that one there is I sign up today, choose the package or whatever, and a year from now, ATN is not around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
so
like you said before, the network that you're plugging me into, are you my only way into this network or communication wise into this network? And if you're not around, do I still have access to this network?
Yeah. So what you're getting is you're buying access to the actual network itself. And so we have it structured pretty well, to where each week we have a member of our network. So someone mentioned IUL. So we'll have like an insurance specialist come on and connect with individuals about those parameters. We'll have our trading teams. They come on weekly. You can ask questions. You can have communication there. We have our client events that we do twice per year. And so that's an opportunity to be connected as well. So plenty of different ways for you to get connected. Then we also have a communication, which is two forms of communication that you'll have access to. One is going to be Slack. That's a one-on-one channel with you and your success team. And then you'll also have access to Telegram, which is going to be, that's the group as a whole. It's going to be for announcements and different things that we have coming up. So no, you won't just have access to me, even though I'm biased. I think I'm pretty a pretty cool guy. But no, it's not just me. It is a network, and so you'll have access to each of those components. And once you do come on board, then that's when all of those things are spelled out from your first onboarding call.
Awesome. Appreciate the response there.
100%.
Okay. I guess my question was, you said different levels have different access to different trading algorithms, and it all depends on what we pick. Now, if we were to choose to join, is there some sort of guidance that's provided as to, hey, let's sit down and talk about, what you're looking to accomplish, what your goals are, what your risk tolerance is, what your time frame looks like as far as which algorithm you choose to invest in?
Yeah, 100%. Let me see if I can pull this up quickly. If one of my members of my team can send it to me, that would be great. You guys know what I'm talking about, but I found it before you did, so don't worry about it. All right, so I'm going to share this on my screen here in just a moment. And this is a document that you guys will go over once you do have your onboarding call. And it does exactly that. It spells out historical performance, kind of what to expect. And then it gives you a graph of, kind of how things look. And so you talk about your risk tolerance. So whether you want to stay in the conservative range, you want to, kind of have some exposure to moderate to high, or the higher risk. So yeah, we'll have, when you do have your onboarding, your first onboarding call, you're going to talk about your tolerance, what your goals are. Is it a long-term goal? Is it short-term? And then discuss the type of allocation that other people in that same circumstance would do.
Thank you.
100%.
Unfortunately, I'm on my phone. I had to pick up the kids from school. Bad connection, so I missed the pricing schedule for the different levels. So I was hoping you could show that again, or if we'll go over that again. But I guess my second question is this: are we able to do this within a business? Right? Can we open up like a corporate account to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'll share this again. So our gold option is our most economic option. Our platinum is our most popular, and diamond is our most premium on the front end. And so when it comes to the main differences, of course, the different historical returns, but the profit split is something to note. 50-50 profit split on gold, 80-20 on platinum, and then diamond, you have access to some of our algorithms that provide a 95% profit split going to you, the client. Then our algorithms, whether you're gold at 3 algorithms, platinum with 5, and diamond with access to 8 algorithms. And then, some of the auxiliary things, the client events, you don't have access to the client events in gold, but you do at platinum and diamond. And then the advisory ecosystem, just, kind of going into the different wealth managers, the insurance specialists, the funding specialists, the trust specialists, those individuals you'll have access to at the platinum and above level.
Great. And so then real quick follow-up with that. If I were to come in, let's say at the gold level, but wanted to 6 months down the road upgrade, right? Do I just pay the difference essentially in the price?
Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Okay, Partha.
Thank you. I think that question related to the previous question, that the corporate, I plan to have a LLC, then I can have a business cards, then I have a fund on my business card, so I can transfer the fund and pay the fee using my business card, right?
Yep, that's correct.
To avoid the cash out,
100%.
interest,
Absolutely. The
the
business,
fees.
you converting it to either an LLC or a trust, which either way, it just has an EIN attached to it. Then
Okay.
that's going to be the way that you would account for any deductions or kind of
Any expenses. Okay. So then the fee that I pay, that I can able to add on to the tax at the end of the year, right? So whatever the fee, I can able to add it. Thank you.
Yes, 100%. All right, love it.
Well, it doesn't matter to me because I still would have to liquidate funds in order to to fund this account. So it wouldn't be there tomorrow. But just out of curiosity, as a bargaining chip for us, would something like this be available without like attending another webinar? Not that I wouldn't entertain the idea of attending a webinar, but is something like that available again in the future?
Wow.
Yeah, so we're not going to have another webinar in this instance. It would be securing your seat for a one-on-one call with me, and that would be it, and just kind of maybe to talk about your situation a little bit more in detail if you had any additional questions or things like that. For us, what we understand is that when we talk about a $500 refundable option, you're basically putting yourself on the list of, hey, I am actually really interested, not just with my time, but with my money, and I'll put this $500 deposit in good faith that when I do liquidate and when things do come available, then I'll be able to execute. So there's that.
So part of that question was because I had put a question in the chat saying, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this, but I'm going to be starting at the goal. Is there a way to upgrade later after the fact, or once you go, you're always goal?
No, we're not gonna keep you at the same level, especially if you have the capacity to increase. Everybody's circumstances do change over time. So yeah, you would only, I think somebody else had that same question. You would only pay the difference in the cost to upgrade at that point.
Last question. Um, at the point in time I start gold and I know what the current price is for the next step, would you be grandfathered in case you guys do intend on raising that price?
Excellent question. And the answer is yes. You will be
Okay,
grandfathered.
thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Inflation happens to all of us, right? So, prices have gone up. And so great question. And yes, we still have people that have, talked to us maybe a month or so ago or what have you, and the price, increased and so we were able to grandfather them in. So definitely great question. I appreciate everybody for joining in, and I'll see you all shortly. Take care.